I have already prepared a starter kit project for you. This is our main file, app.js file. Here I imported the Express module. I have created the basic Express server. I'm also going to use a Morgan as a logging middleware. Here I have created the base route, welcome to build and secure RESTful APIs. I have also registered a couple of middlewares for the error handler middleware. I'm going to use ES6 in this code, so I will use Babel to transpile my ES6 code to ES5. I'm also going to use ESLint RC file. What you need to do, you need to go to the setup branch and check out this setup branch. Let's run the project by using the npm start. If you open the package.json file, I have already created the script for the start, build, and the production level script. Make sure you have done the npm install. I have already installed all these dependencies. So if you go to the localhost :3000, you will see this message, welcome to build and secure RESTful APIs. First of all, I need to install Mongoose package. Mongoose has installed. Make sure your MongoDB is running. I'm going to start the MongoDB. Now I'm going to create a new config folder inside the source directory. Let me create a new file, db.js. Inside this db.js, first we need to import the Mongoose package. And I would like to use the promise. So we need to tell the Mongoose, hey Mongoose, I want to use a promise with the Mongoose models method. Let me create a new method. I'm going to export this method. The name of the method is connect. I'm going to use arrow function. I need to use this connect method. Mongoose provides a connect method to connect with MongoDB. Let me provide our connection URI, MongoDB. I need to provide the local host, and here we need to write the name of the database. I'm going to choose music API. And now we need to use this method inside the app.js file. I'm going to call it here, connect. Let's try to run the application. It's good to go. I did not get any error. I'm going to design the project feature by feature. First of all, go ahead and create the API folder inside the source directory. I also need a resources folder. And I'm going to create a new folder, which is song. Inside the song, I will have index.js file. I will have song router, song.router.js. I will also have song controller. Here I will place all my actions. Let's create the router. First, we need to import the Express package. Let me create the song router from the Express router interface. I need to use this method router. I must need to export the song router. I'm going to add the route, song router.route. This is our root route. I'm going to specify the post route. Here I need to specify the controller action. So we need to create the controller action inside the song controller. It will export the object. I'm going to create the create method. I'm going to use async await throughout this course. I'm going to name it to the async. I'm going to return this simple message to do song create. I need to implement this endpoint. Now I can use this create action, song controller dot create. Now I need to use this song router inside the index.js file. I'm going to create a new file inside the API folder. Let me create our main REST router. First, we need to import the Express. Let's create the REST router. I can use the router interface, express.router. I must need to export this REST router. I forgot to export this song router, I must need to export the song router from the song router. Now I can use the song router inside the index.js file. Let me specify that rest router dot use. This is our base path for the songs endpoint. I'm gonna name it to the songs, and let me provide the song router. That's it. And finally, we need to register our main API endpoint inside the app.js. Let me register it here. I'm going to remove that. I am not going to use this endpoint. App.use. This is our main path API, and we need to provide our main router, which is REST router. Let's try to send the post request to the songs endpoint. http://localhost:3000/API songs. I'm going to send the post request. Cool. Here we have to do song create. Let's create a new song model. I'm going to create a new file, song.model.js. First, we need to import the Mongoose. Now we need to destructure the schema class from the Mongoose object. Let me do that. I need to get the schema class. So I can create a new instance from the schema class. The name of the schema is song schema. I'm going to create a new object. Here we need to provide all the attributes for this schema. The first property is title. The type of the title is string. Yes, it is required property, true, or you can also add the validation. Song must have title. Second property is URL. The type of the URL is also string and it is required property. You can also add the validation. Song must have URL. And the last property is rating. And the type of rating is number. I'm going to set the default value is 0. You can also add validation for minimum value is 0, and you can also add the maximum value for the rating. I'm going to choose 5. And now we need to export this Mongoose model. Export the mongoose.model. The name of the model is song. And we need to provide our schema, which is song schema. I need to use the default here. I'm going to use Joy plugin to handle the validation. Let's install the Joy package. Now we need to import the Joy package. Joy from the Joy plugin. Joy. Let's create the schema here. I need to use the joy.object. It's a method. I need to call the keys. Let's specify all the keys for the schema. I have a title. Let me add the validation for title. I can use that joy dot. The type is string. It's a method. Yes, it is required property. I need to use this method. The second property is URL. The type is string. Yes, it is required property. I need to add the required validation. And the last property is rating. The type is number. You can also specify the integer value. You can also add the minimum value. Let's say it's a 0. I can also add the max value. The maximum value is 5 and it is an optional property. Now we need to validate our request body. I need to use the validate method. Let me provide the value, which is request.body, and the second value is schema. It will give me the value and error. So I have destructured the both variables, value and error. Let me handle the error. If error and error.details. We also need and one more time. If error comes, we need to send the batch request error. Let me add the status. 400 is the status code, and I can send the error in the JSON format, or you can provide the error here. Error is error. If everything is good to go, and I'm gonna send the value here in the response. Let's try to test this endpoint. I need to start the server. I'm also going to log the request body. Let me log it here, request.body. Now we need to send the request. I got the 200 status, but it is giving us the undefined. Request.body is undefined. So we need to parse this request body. Express provides two middleware to parse the body. I'm going to register it here. The first middleware to parse the request body for post endpoint, express.json. And the second middleware, I need to use this one, express.url encoded. I can also provide the extended to true. Now I'm going to send the request. Now you will get the validation error. Message title is required. You can see that. I'm going to provide the title. Let's provide the JSON body here. Title, name of love. You can also specify the URL. I don't have any URL right now. I'm going to provide dummy URL. Let's try to test it first. Now I got the title and URL. Let's provide the rating value. I'm going to provide the invalid value. Let's provide the 10. Cool. I got the validation error. Rating must be less than or equal to 5. Let's wrap our code inside the try and catch block. I will send the error, server error with 500 status code. Let me provide the status. I'm going to provide 500, or let me send the error. You can also log the error. Console.error. Let me specify the error. Now I need to import the song model. Song.create will return the promise. Let me use this method. Here I need to provide the value object. I can apply a wait expression on promise, and it will give me the newly created promise. So I can return this promise in the response, rest.json. Let me provide the song. I'm going to start the server. Let me try to test that. You can also verify the song collection from the MongoDB. Here is the name of my database, Music API. Here we have our song record. First of all, I need to create the route for the find all songs. This time the action or HTTP verb should be get. And here I need to specify the controller action, song controller.find all. I did not create this action yet. So let's open the song controller. I'm going to create a new action or action method. Async find all. It will take request and response. You can also use try and catch. I'm going to copy the catch block. Let's do it here. I can fetch all the songs by using these methods, song.find all. Or I think I need to use the find method. It will give me all the songs, and I'm going to return all the songs in the response. Let's try to test this endpoint. We need to send the GET request API/songs. I got the error, type error. Converting circular structure to JSON. I forgot to apply a wait expression. Let's try to find all the songs. Cool. Now I got all the songs. Let's install the Mongoose paginate plugin. Mongoose paginate has installed. Now we need to register this plugin. Open the song model. I'm going to register it here. First, we need to import the Mongoose paginate. Mongoose paginate from Mongoose paginate. You can use the schema method, schema.plugin. Hey Mongoose, I would like to register my external plugin. The name of the plugin is Mongoose paginate. It will add the paginate method to the song model. Let me show you the demo of paginate method. Now I can use the paginate method. Let's try to fetch all the songs. I'm going to send the request to fetch all the songs. Here you can see that it has added the docs array. Now you can see that total songs are 12. Here it says limit. By default, it has set the limit to 10. And you can also see the offset, page, and total pages are 2. You can also provide the values dynamically. Let me create the options. I can get the page and per page value from the request query. I will provide this value from the postman. Let's generate the options object. Here I need to specify the current page. Make sure you must parse this value to integer. Page, I'm going to set it to 10, and per page, or you can set the limit of this records. I also need to parse it into the integer per page value. Now I need to provide these options. I'm going to provide these options here. Let's define the page value. Let's say I would like to see only 5 records. You can also specify the page value and per page value. Let's say I would like to see 10 records, or let's say I would like to see 5 records per page, and I want to see the records from the page number 2. I got the error request.query is not a function. It's not a function, it's an object. And one more thing, I also need to provide the object, and the second argument is options. Let's try to test it again. The per page is 5, and I would like to see the records from the page number 2. Now I got all the records. Here you can see that. We have docs array, and the limit I have set to 5. And here is the page number 2. The total pages are 3. Let's say if I don't provide the per page value or page value, if you will send the request, you will find the empty docs array. That is the problem. I need to set the default value here. I'm going to set the default page is 1. And you can also specify the per page. I'm going to set it to 10. Let's try to test it again. Now you will find the docs here. You can see that. Here we have docs. I got the 10 records. Limit is 10 and the total are 12. First of all, I need to define the route to find the single song. Song router.route. I will find the song only based on ID. Here I need to specify the ID. I will send the ID dynamically from the postman. Let's define our HTTP verb. Here I need to specify the action. I'm going to use find one. I did not create this find one method. Let me create it here. Async find one. It will take request and response. I'm also going to wrap my code inside the try and catch. Let me copy the catch block and I'm going to paste it here. Let's try to use this action. Cool. Let's try to find the song by ID. I need to use this method song.findById. I did not get the ID from the request query params. Let's get that. I'm going to do it here. ID. I'm going to use destructuring request.params. Let's provide the ID. And I'm going to return the song in the response. If there is a no song by this ID, I need to send the 404 or not found error. If there is no song, then we need to return the 404 error. Status should be 404 and I'm going to send the error. You can send the error in JSON format. Could not find song. Now I'm gonna find this Firestone song. I need to use the get endpoint, get API slash song slash the ID of the song. I'm gonna send the get request. Here I got the Firestone song. I'm going to create a new route to delete the song. This time the HTTP verb should be delete, and here we need to provide our action. I don't have delete method. Let me create inside the song controller. I'm going to create an async method. The name is delete. It will take request and response. You can also use try and catch. Let me find the ID. I'm going to use destructuring to get the ID from the request params. Now I'm going to use song.find by ID and remove, or you can use find one and remove. Let me use the find one and remove. I need to provide the ID. I'm going to provide the ID. If there is a no song, then we need to return this message res.status 404. Let me send the error. Could not find song. If everything is good, a song has deleted, then you can return the deleted song in the response. I'm going to send the deleted song in the response. Let's try to delete this name of love song. We must need to send the delete request, and here I need to specify the ID. Let me send the delete request. Cool, our song has deleted. Let's try to delete the same song again. You will get the message could not find song. Let's create the update endpoint to update the song. This time the HTTP verb should be put and my controller action is update. Let's create the controller action inside the song controller. Request and response. I also need to use try catch. Let me copy the catch. I also need a schema. I'm going to copy the schema from the create method. I also need to handle this logic. I'm going to paste it here. This time each property is optional. User can update the title. User can update the URL. It depends on the user. I also need to set it optional, so everything is good. I need to write the name of the method update. Now I need to use the method find one and update. It will give me the updated song. Song.find one and update. I would like to update the song by ID. The first argument is criteria object, and the second argument is my value record to update, and the third argument I would like to tell MongoDB I want to see updated record in the response. So I did not get the ID, so I need to get the ID here. I'm going to use destructuring to get the ID. Request.params. I got the ID. Now we need to send the updated song in the response. If there is a no song, then we need to send the 404 error. I'm going to copy the same error from here and paste it here. If everything is good, then we need to send the updated song in the response. I'm going to call the song. Let's find all the songs. Let's say I would like to update the name of this song. I want to update the animals to something else. I'm going to copy the ID. I'm going to provide the ID here. This time the HTTP action should be put, and we must need to specify the body. Let's say I would like to update the name from animals to Star Wars, whatever. I also want to update the rating. You can also update the URL. Let's do that. A song has updated. Here is a title. Here is a URL. Here is a rating.